Well, good evening and welcome to another episode of What Nobody Told Me After 65. Well, it's your girl, lady on the go, lady in the know, Miss Info. You've reached the Information Nation, where knowledge is shared and wisdom exchanged for the betterment of a people. Good evening. I told you I wouldn't finish that report yesterday, and I was not able to finish it, so I'm going to finish it up tonight. We are still talking about what in the world. I think I left off at 2018. I'm going to start tonight at 2019. The Supreme Court rules in 2019 in a 5-4 vote margin that inmates on death row are not guaranteed painless executions under the Constitution. In 2019, Jeffrey Epstein is found dead in his cell. I'm not even going to go into who he was and why he was even in a cell. An impeachment inquiry is held regarding Donald Trump. He is impeached for high crimes and misdemeanors in December of 2019. In January of 2020, the first coronavirus is diagnosed. In February of 2020, Donald Trump is acquitted of charges related to the Ukraine scandal. 6 people are killed in a mass shooting in Milwaukee. In March of 2020, U.S. Senate approves an $8.3 billion federal emergency aid to combat COVID-19. The World Health Organization declares COVID-19 a global pandemic. The U.S. has the highest number of reported COVID-19 deaths. At that time, we were over 20,000. President Trump threatens to suspend funding to the World Health Organization pending an investigation into its early response to the pandemic. In May of 2020, the death toll from COVID-19 reaches 100 million people. 100 million lives were lost at that time. March 2020, the Dow Jones fell by 2,997.10 points. That's the single largest point drop in history. I believe this was even bigger than the crash of the Wall Street crash. 2,997 points. Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg dies in 2020. President Trump and First Lady Melania are diagnosed with COVID-19. Harvey Weinstein is found guilty of rape. In November of 2020, the Biden and Harris are elected to the office of President and Vice President. The U.S. Senate approves an $8.3 billion federal emergency aid package. U.S. Senate. Now, didn't I just say that? I did. It bears repeating. Mostly because in this report, I'm finding there wasn't a lot of substance going on. So that was a repeat, and forgive me. In January of 2021, supporters of Trump stormed the U.S. Capitol building, forcing Congress to evacuate. Trump is the only president to be impeached twice. 10 Republicans joined the all-Senate Democrats in the vote. Now, in February, House Speaker Pelosi announces that Congress will establish a 9/11-style commission to investigate the January 6th riots. In March of 2021, American Rescue Plan Act is passed. This is the most abused program in history. An estimated $2 trillion in massive misuse by huge corporations being bailed out. Millions supposedly went to Japanese citizens, illegal immigrants, and federal prisoners. I'll do more on this at another time. March of 2021, there was a spa shooting in Atlanta. It leaves 8 dead, and 6 of those victims were of Asian descent. In March of 2021, 10 people are killed at a supermarket in Boulder, Colorado. This is the second mass shooting in a week. April 2021, the Capitol building is under lockdown after a suspect rams a car into the barricade, exits the vehicle with a knife. 2 officers are injured and 1 later dies. The suspect is killed by the Capitol Police. June of 2021, Juneteenth becomes the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act is passed, which makes Juneteenth a federal holiday. In August of 2021, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo resigns amid sexual harassment charges from multiple women. In November of 21, an Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act is signed into law. It's known as the Invest in America Act. It's designed to invigorate federal highway aid, transit, highway safety, motor carrier research, hazardous materials, and rail programs. It was later amended to include funding for broadband access, clean water, and electric grid renewal. This additional investment increased the spending by another $1.2 trillion. The original budget proposed was $547 to $715 billion. All I can say is, wow. I don't know what we got for it. I might investigate that as well. That's a lot of money. The bill was passed by a 69-30 margin, which is pretty doggone good. In December of 2021, Ghislaine Maxwell is convicted in federal court on charges related to her recruiting and trafficking young girls to be sexually abused by the late Jeffrey Epstein. 2022, the Uvalde school shooting kills 19 students and 2 teachers. November of 22, the Republicans take the House. Democrats keep the Senate. Kevin McCarthy is elected Speaker of the House on the 15th ballot. October of 23, McCarthy becomes the first Speaker of the House of Representatives to be removed from office. March of 24, the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore collapses, killing 6 construction workers. And in July of 2024, right now, former President Donald Trump is injured in an assassination attempt at a rally near Butler, Pennsylvania. 20-year-old shooter is killed, and we got conspiracy theorists everywhere. There you have it. 20 years of what? Mostly shooting, killing, mayhem, and salacious behavior. I can count on one hand the number of economic or socioeconomic, scientific, or educational strides that were made. It's very disturbing for me. And again, this is my opinion. I didn't find anything great in that time period. We survived the global pandemic only to be hearing rumors of a revolution. Really? A bloodless revolution, if we want it. I believe we have many other issues and other things to be concerned about. Right now, do not be deceived. Keep your wits about you and do your homework. Do your homework. It's up to you. If you're going to vote, vote with your conscience, not with your emotions. You know what to do. And remember, you don't know what you don't know. Thanks for listening.